certainly can.
Thank you. As a servant to the people of Queensland and Australia, I'm ashamed to say that Australia is at war with state and federal governments. I'm appalled that Friday, 17th December, looms in our state as the official date of segregation between the injected and the uninjected. 2 years ago, anyone who dared suggest such a scenario would have been mocked and labelled a conspiracy theorist. It could never happen in our country. It would have been unthinkable that any Australian political leader would consider segregating based on injection status, even as a strategy to deal with COVID under the guise that we can all regain our inherent human right to move freely throughout our country. Despite Victoria being the world's most locked-down jurisdiction and Victorians until recently suffering under increasingly draconian restrictions, Victoria today has more cases of COVID than it did a year ago. There was never any science nor modelling that suggested we could suppress the virus. So instead, government suppressed and oppressed the people to hide political foolishness, failings and gross mismanagement. What started as a supposed war on COVID became a fear-driven war against the people of Australia to make politicians appear to know what they're doing. Yet politicians and health bureaucrats making decisions destroying our lives have not suffered themselves. These privileged positions have remained intact, have not lost jobs, and are not wondering how the hell to feed families. Instead, the privileged have been comfortably working from home, waiting for the storm to blow over. Our confidence and trust in governments have collapsed because we have been lied to. The Australian people witness sweeping inconsistencies, contradictions and hypocrisies on virus rules. And in this, the Queensland Premier excels. After nearly 2 years, state and federal politicians still do not act with one shared view of what a hotspot is, resulting in thousands of double-injected Queensland residents abandoned for months at huge cost just over the border in New South Wales, unable to return home. The fact that the Queensland Premier can hold Queensland residents in such low regard is repugnant, disgusting, inhuman. The Prime Minister's lame pretence to push back against mandatory injections provides little comfort to Australians. It drives scorn, derision and anger. He says the federal government does not mandate COVID injections, yet leaves the states and territories to run wild with mandates that gut and make a mockery of informed consent, bodily autonomy and human rights. Lies. Federal agencies destroy the primacy and privacy of the doctor-patient relationship. Federal government health data is essential for states to enforce mandates. And the Queensland Premier says her decision to divide and segregate is in line with the spuriously labelled National Cabinet, a concoction over which the Prime Minister presides. Our political leaders don't know when to stop hurting the people. Their thirst for personal ease and for political control over the masses is their justification for draconian measures shredding privacy and human rights, wreaking havoc with people's lives and mental health, endorsing segregation based on injection status. The rhetoric throughout COVID has been, "We're all in this together." Queensland's segregation date of 17th of December shows we are not. It's unconscionable that unless injected Queenslanders will be barred from social, leisure and health activities, health services. Is the federal government going to stand by and let the Queensland Premier deny uninjected Queenslanders a restaurant meal, a drink in the pub, a coffee, and despite paying our taxes, medical care except in an emergency? Confidence in the injection should translate into confidence of being protected, making it unnecessary to marginalise people choosing to remain injection-free. Are people so scared that this logic is lost? There was an opportunity this week for the government to support Senator Hanson's bill, which outlaws discrimination based on injection status. Yet the majority of government senators hid in their offices and did nothing, hiding from constituents, scurrying from accountability. The federal government is doing nothing to stop the imminent segregation of the Australian people. To avoid getting hands dirty, enforcement will be outsourced to state police and to small business owners. We need to stop our political leaders dividing us and driving, coercing discrimination against our fellow Australians. We need to work together as a nation of Australian people, not state against state in an insane, futile race to suppress and eliminate COVID, when what's really being suppressed are the people. People are now taking to the streets protesting to push back government overreach and to restore our freedoms. People know that freedom, privacy and human rights have been eroded too much for too long and at huge cost, and with both courage and desperation march in the streets now. It seems freedom isn't always easy and free. Sometimes it must be fought for. Today we're still fighting for common sense, for our freedom and for our democracy. We want it back.